The Paediatric Intensive Care Unit at St Mary's Hospital was opened 15 years ago with just one bed.
Prior to that in London, there was really only two facilities at Great Ormond Street and at Guy's Hospital for general paediatric intensive care. And that meant that critically ill children in the whole of North and South London were competing for very few beds, and many children were refused admission, and this of course would result in death in some cases.
One of the first patients was Evan Harding, who was treated for meningococcal septicemia.
We had at that stage the beginnings of our mobile intensive care unit. This mobile intensive care unit went to the local hospital where Evan was, resuscitated him, stabilised him, and then brought him back here. He developed multi-organ system failure, and he had to even be dialysed. He was on the life support machine for many, many weeks.
But the fledgling unit managed to save his life, and after several weeks he was able to leave. Evan is now 29, married and living in America.
This plaque was written by Evan Harding when he recovered after weeks of being comatose on a life support machine, being dialysed. And while he was recovering, we used to say to him every day in every way, "You're getting better and better."
Through cases like Evan's, it soon became clear that to improve facilities like the Mobile Intensive Care Unit and to provide up-to-the-minute equipment on the unit, extra funding was needed, which is why COSMIC, the Children of St Mary's Intensive Care charity, was set up. Over the years, the money raised has enabled the latest equipment, training and research to be funded. This has helped increase the chances of survival for severely ill children, like Patrick, who was 9 months old when he was rushed to the unit in 1998 with meningococcal septicemia.
My first introduction to COSMIC was on the unit, staring at all the pumps and machinery, each one having a COSMIC sticker on it, and I asked what it was all about and found out that the majority of the equipment in the unit is funded by COSMIC. What you also become aware of when you're in the situation we were is that there is often not a backup for any of it. So when Patrick was on dialysis, for example, I was told that if that piece of kit failed, they couldn't do any more because there wasn't another machine. So, you know, we desperately need backup supplies for everything. Today Patrick is as cheeky as any other 10-year-old. He's an inspiration to us all and he's living life to its full.
Well, I like swimming, I'm in the school choir. I really like hockey. In fact, just the other week we hammered another team, 2-0, 6-0, 4-0.
The unit now deals with around 500 patients a year and is able to save the lives of children with increasingly complex illnesses.
We've been involved in 2 different drug studies looking at different kinds of treatment that have been shown to contribute to the outcome of children. That means whether they live or whether they die, and if they live, whether they have a better quality of life than they would have done normally. COSMIC has not only funded personnel, but has also helped us to manage the samples and the information that we get from those patients.
It was just such research that the team needed to draw on when 4-year-old Natalia arrived at St Mary's last year, suffering from the complications of the rare Kawasaki's disease.
The day Natalia went on life support was clearly the worst day of my life, and I had to go back into the room with Natalia now on life support, and I was actually terrified to go back in. The staff was so understanding. They coaxed me back in very gently by asking me if I wanted to help clean her face with damp cotton wool, and they stayed with me until I felt more comfortable and felt back to normal of being a mum again, I suppose.
Natalia had a very rare condition. She developed inflammation, and this affected the function of her heart, which wasn't pumping very well, and she developed acute pulmonary edema and went into respiratory failure because her lungs became congested. Had it not been for the fact that she was in a facility where there was immediate availability and access to paediatric intensive care, I think she wouldn't have survived.
The Paediatric Intensive Care Unit at St Mary's is just amazing. It deals with children who fall critically ill really, really quickly, and they blend together medical care with the research that they've had in each of the cases, some of the research which is funded by COSMIC.
Most of the equipment that she was being nursed with, both the monitoring equipment and the life support equipment, was bought by COSMIC.
At the moment we've got this machine on loan because this machine is very useful for specific types of lung disease in seriously ill children. And we're hoping that the money from COSMIC will help us buy one of these machines outright.
Every piece of new equipment is put to use immediately. 7-month-old Tian is currently in intensive care after being rushed to the unit 3 weeks ago. His mum, Kerry, has good reason to be thankful to COSMIC and the team on the unit.
The staff on there, they're brilliant, you know. You couldn't ask for like better people sort of thing, you know. The nurses here, they keep you all informed and up to date and everything, very honest, which is important. And like basically, you know, I just think, you know, they're like angels here, you know, they've done so much for Tian.
Without the funding from COSMIC, hundreds of children would not be with us today. So please, help in whatever way you can to make sure COSMIC continues to save even more children's lives in the future.
COSMIC and the unit at St Mary's is the most wonderful place. Although we had the most tragic months of our time to date there, the staff and the facilities are, you know, phenomenal.
Well, what I remember when I was at St Mary's, I don't remember that much in the actual unit itself, but I do remember leaving it and Mum carrying me, and because of her footsteps and I was so small, I was kind of bouncing up and down a bit.
I remember something nice. Someone painted my nails. Thank you for saving my life.
People should definitely donate to COSMIC because it's such a great cause, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here tonight, so dig deep tonight.